Alright, so my lesson plan that I had is I want my students to explore the differences and compare wind versus solar power. One of the things is that really kind of hit me with some of the presentations that we saw was Oklahoma has a lot more wind than I thought it did, and it also has a lot more radiant power than I thought it did. And since this is literally the where Oklahoma is going right now, we're really high in wind. We've got a little bit of solar, but both are growing really high, especially in the next 10 years, is I really wanted my students to explore the differences is why are we so high in wind when we're sixth in the nation for radiant power. And not only that, but my students don't get to, I really wanted to get them a hands-on experience into how wind turbines work and at the same time how solar power works. One of the things they're going to do is I'm actually going to be using something called the Firefly, which is actually provided by KidWind. So they're going to be building a device, and it's actually going to be powering a light, and I'm going to take it a step further. But this is what it looks like. Right in this nacelle right there is like a little light that they can light up. One thing I'm going to have them do is they're going to be changing and testing. So you see how they have different blade styles here. I'm going to provide my students some different materials that they can use, and then they're going to design their blades. We're going to learn about pitch. They're going to learn about wind speeds, how close you hold it to the fan, how far away you hold it from the fan, to see if they can generate the most electricity. And one thing that they're going to use to do that is a multimeter. So kind of like we did when KidWind was here. So once they have been able to explore the wind power, then we're going to jump into the solar power. So then they're going to be playing with the solar panels. And again, we're going to be exploring different variables, angle, different light sources. We're going to be going out in the sun. We're going to be I'm going to have different lamps in the room and just the general lights to see if or how much power that they're actually getting out of those. They're also going to be using the same light that they lit up with the wind power to try and light with the solar panels. And you guys remember we're going to again use the multimeters to test and see how much power they can get generated. The big idea is which one of these renewable energies actually is providing the most power. One of the reasons why I set it up this way, students are going to have a chart that they're going to be graphing all of their, or not graphing, they're going to be putting in all of their data points, what variables they changed, what angles they changed, what light source they used, and how much each one is generating electricity or voltage. And then at the end, they're going to go back and compare that data and see which one was the one that was actually giving them the most electricity. So, like I said, they're going to be doing a chart. Once they've done both, and they're going to compare which one was actually getting the most power. And one of the reasons, or there's several reasons why I set it up this way. Earlier on in the school year, we learn about kinetic and potential energy with our roller coaster unit that we do. And then after that, then we jump into energy transformations, where we're going from chemical energy to mechanical energy to electrical energy, which I thought this did a really good job because they really understand about, they'll really get an idea on the turbines and with the Fireflies is rotational energy, using that to transform that from mechanical to electrical energy, and same with the solar. They're taking the light energy or radiant energy and they're turning it into electricity using the solar panels. So we're kind of taking a little bit of an introductory, at the same time they're going to be learning and understanding those different points. So hopefully they'll be able to tie everything together, and then they'll actually be able to see how those things really work. So, because we're not going to be doing this until later on in the year. So, and another thing is, with this one, it's actually really easy to extend even further. I'm kind of going to be basing this more on my students and see which direction they want to take it. So it's really easy to go in and say, oh, well, we already finished this part. Can we do that? Yeah, go ahead. Try to use different materials, design your own blades, change the pitch even more, or just to kind of give the students, and once they've done what they needed to do, then they can explore on their own and do a little bit more on their own if they choose to, or if that's something that they get to. So.